lunch break live from Lady Bird J Lake.
Coming to you live, putting on for they city.
This is that 2-hour lunch break live from Lady Bird J Lake. And we back, Zeus P, Tank Juice. Let the light in, man. It's the 2-hour lunch break, dog. I'm locked in. So turn your speakers up a notch and grab the white gin. And when I'm on the road to the office or the crib, it's Big Zeus, St. Jude, the ones I wanna hear. This is that 2-hour lunch break live from Lady Bird J Lake.
Coming to you live, putting on for they city.
This is that 2-hour lunch break live from Lady Bird J Lake. And we back, Zeus P, Tank Juice. Let the light in, man. It's the 2-hour lunch break, dog. I'm locked in. So turn your speakers up a notch and grab the white gin. And when I'm on the road to the office or the crib, it's Big Zeus, St. Jude, the ones I wanna hear. This is that 2-hour lunch break live from Lady Bird J Lake.
Coming to you live, putting on for they city.
This is that 2-hour lunch break live from Lady Bird J Lake. And we back, Zeus P, Tank Juice. Let the light in, man. It's the 2-hour lunch break, dog. I'm locked in. So turn your speakers up a notch and grab the white gin. And when I'm on the road to the office or the crib, it's Big Zeus, St. Jude, the ones I wanna hear. This is that 2-hour lunch break live from Lady Bird J Lake.
Coming to you live, putting on for they city.
This is that 2-hour lunch break live from Lady Bird J.
And today is podcast day. Super excited for the live today. I am. How about you? What's going on, Austin? Welcome back to another live episode of the 1-hour news break, brought to you by the 2-hour lunch break podcast. I am your co-host, Saint, one half of the 2-hour lunch break podcast, and I am thrilled to be in the heart of Eastside Austin. Today is Tuesday, June the 18th, and we have a fantastic episode.
Zeus P, Tank Juice. Let the light in, man. It's the 2-hour lunch break, dog. I'm locked in. So turn your speakers up a notch and grab the white gin. And when I'm on the road to the office or the crib, it's Big Zeus, St. Jude, the ones I wanna hear. This is that 2-hour lunch break live from Lady Bird J Lake.
Coming to you live, putting on for they city.
This is that 2-hour lunch break live from Lady Bird J Lake. And we back, Zeus P, Tank Juice. Let the light in, man. It's the 2-hour lunch break, dog. I'm locked in. So turn your speakers up a notch and grab the white gin. And when I'm on the road to the office or the crib, it's Big Zeus, St. Jude, the ones I wanna hear. This is that 2-hour lunch break live from Lady Bird J Lake.
Coming to you live, putting on
Zeus P, Tank Juice. Let the light in, man. It's the 2-hour lunch break, dog. I'm locked in. So turn your speakers up a notch and grab the white gin. And when I'm on the road to the office or the crib, it's Big Zeus, St. Jude, the ones I wanna hear. This is that 2-hour lunch break live from Lady Bird J Lake.
Coming to you live, putting on for they city.
This is that 2-hour lunch break live from Lady Bird J Lake. And we back, Zeus P, Tank Juice. Let the light in, man. It's the 2-hour lunch break, dog. I'm locked in. So turn your speakers up a notch and grab the white gin. And when I'm on the road to the office or the crib, it's Big Zeus, St. Jude, the ones I wanna hear. This is that 2-hour lunch break live from Lady Bird J Lake.
And we are live back here at the 2-hour lunch break podcast, 1-hour news break, powered by Favor, located at Dawa Studios. I am Saint, one half of your co-host of the 2-hour lunch break podcast. Want to say what's up. So welcome back to another live edition of the 1-hour news break, brought to you by the 2-hour lunch break podcast. We're thrilled here back in East Austin. Today is Tuesday, July the 2nd, and we have an amazing episode lined up for you today. Want to say big special shout out to Dawa Studios, our home base, and welcome back.
Also, powered by Favor, FYI. What's up, y'all? I'm Trotwood Zeus, the other half of the 2-hour lunch break podcast. And for those of you that are tuning in for the first time, the 2-hour lunch break is all about amplifying the voices of Black and brown entrepreneurs, artists, all the movers and shakers in the city. Our slogan says it all. A podcast for Austin, from Austin, brought to you around the world. We're here to shine a light on a lot of the amazing talent and stories that make this city so unique. But for the 1 hour news break, we switch things up a little bit. Instead of our usual interviews, it's just us diving into the latest events in Austin and across the nation. We're here to share our perspectives on current events, local news, and everything in between.
And before we start, remember that you can catch all episodes of the 2 hour lunch break on all digital streaming platforms. You can find us on X at the 2 hour lunch and on Instagram at 2HLB Pod. So without further ado, let's get right into it, man. How you doing, brother?
Man, I'm good, man. I know we usually start off with our mental health check, man.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm in a really good space.
Wonderful.
Me and the wife are making some major life moves right now. We'll go into specifics when we got some stuff locked in. I'm sure we talked about it off air.
Right.
So yeah, we're making some huge personal moves. Just in a whole bunch of different aspects, job, kids, house, just everything you can name of. We're making a lot of big changes. I'm happy about where we're at. I feel good about where we're at. And man, overall, man, I'm in a pretty good space, man. How about you?
I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. Today's been a rough one. Today has been a rough.
We
one.
all have them, okay?
Yeah, I think we all have them, and I have to agree. It's just, yeah, this one's hard, man. Today is hard, but we're gonna do our best we can. Feel a little discombobulated in a kerfuffle.
Okay.
But man, we go rock out, man. We gonna try to rock out, man.
Gotcha.
We're gonna do the best we can.
Okay.
What's going on? What happened last week, man?
We got a lot of big news around the city, man. Starting out for your UT fans.
Yeah.
I know we got a really big fan base in Austin, man. Texas and Oklahoma are joining. It's been official. They are joining the SEC, the Southeastern Conference, as of yesterday. So I'm gonna keep it a buck, bro. This is arguably one of the most consequential moves when it comes to college athletics, at least in recent memory. But I think this has been a huge impact in regards to football specifically. I was gonna say, bro, I know you're a Southern California guy.
Yeah.
I don't know your team.
Yeah.
Right? But I know a lot of this has some big impacts on what happened to the Pac-12.
Yes.
Right? So coming from your perspective, not necessarily being born and raised in Austin and growing up with UT, how are you feeling about it?
I mean, I don't know, man. I think that the SEC, I would argue the SEC is a better conference when it comes to games during session, right? But I would probably also say that, I think you got to kind of take it in stride, and it depends on the particular player and teams that you guys are playing against, you know, your overall roster when it comes to game sessions.
Okay.
So for me, though, I think it might be a step in the right direction. Okay. Pretending on how you look at it. But you're a football guy.
Yeah, that's.
I was getting ready to say
this my bag.
Yeah, right.
This my bag. Hey, I'm a college football connoisseur.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I love NFL. NFL's cool, but college football, this is what I do.
Right.
I participated. I played 4 years. I actually played D2. Shout out Angelo State. Shout out Ram Fam. I played 4 years, but I've always been a Texas fan. Me and my dad, we try to go to a game at minimum every couple of years or so. I went to a game last season with a couple of my cousins. Shout out Dare, shout out Greg. They got us tickets. My wife also came with us. So this is what we do.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
this is right up my alley.
Yeah.
So for me, since I'm kind of in this, I've been born of this, right? So I'm not gonna lie, bro. Like it's there's some good and some bad.
Yeah.
Right. So I think for the sake of quality football, like the quality of the football that's being played is gonna go up. Because as we know, bro, like the last 15 years or so, man, like as far as when you think of football, college football supremacy, you think of the SEC, you think of the Alabamas, you think of the Georgias, even the Floridas. Floridas have won some national championships. That area of the country holds a lot of weight when it comes to that. So bringing in a blue bloods like Texas and Oklahoma is gonna be insane,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm looking forward to that. But what I will say is, on the other side of that, like for the sanctity of college football overall, I can't say I'm necessarily the biggest fan of this move.
Okay.
Right? And I got a couple of reasons
I'm about
for
to say
that.
diving deeper. Let me hear why.
So because of this move, it shifted a lot of rivalries that were already in place. Because of course, you know, Texas and OU were in the Big 12. We got the rivalries in place that we have been. You know, we were playing Texas Tech, Baylor. You know, a lot of heavy hitters within the state. And at this point, we really don't know what's going to happen, right? And so I'm a little sad to see that kind of go away. And also, in addition to that, bro, just like I was saying earlier, dog, it's super consequential just because of the fact that it also precipitated like the dissolvement of like the Pac-12.
Pac-12, yeah.
Right, bro. It's at this point the Pac-12 is like the Pac-2,
Right.
Because I think
Best, yeah.
it's maybe like Oregon State and
Maybe, yeah.
Oregon State and like Stanford or
Yeah,
somebody. I know they got left behind. Everybody else kind of broke up.
Yeah.
But once the Big 12 once OU and Texas made that move, they left the Big 12, and then people started filling those gaps from the Big 12 and taking from the Pac-12, and then so the Pac-12 is empty basically at this point. So it just threw the alignment completely off, right? But it's gonna be some big things coming out of this coming season. I know Texas is gonna be playing Georgia. I'm excited to see that.
Yep.
Texas, I believe, is going to be playing Florida.
That'll be a good game.
That's going to be a big one. I'm not an OU fan, but I do know OU is going to play Alabama this year. So I know for the sake of quality football, that's going to be a good one. I'm going to watch it.
Yeah.
I ain't got no dog in the fight
Yeah,
because,
yeah.
I mean, because keep it at a buck. What time is it? It's 6:40 and OU still sucks. So, yeah, they can, you know, I'm going to be cheering for Bama in this case. I want them to get OU up out of here.
Yeah.
But I like I said, I'm excited. I'm excited to see good football. But yeah, man, just the ramifications on college football as a whole is kind of icky, bro.
What do you think they're trying to do with all these moves? Do you think they're trying to create a big powerhouse where it sparks competition or engagement, or do you think it's just strictly like we're just trying to mix up the pot a little bit?
I'm gonna keep it real. You know how I am.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
an
yeah,
anti-capitalist.
yeah,
You know how I am with that, right? So if I'm gonna keep it a buck,
Yeah.
I feel like this is completely money driven. It's completely money driven. It's completely driven behind TV contracts. You know, they're hoarding talent at this point, consolidating a lot of this talent in order to be able to say, like, just like I was saying, it is quality football.
Yeah.
But, you know, everything else that goes along with college football and college athletics as a whole, like, so if we're gonna keep it a buck, right? So we got OU and Texas in the SEC, right? And there's also been, like I was saying, there's other stuff happening in the Big 12. I want to say USC and UCLA ended up leaving, and they're playing in the Big 10, right? Which geographically is crazy, dog. Like, you got USC playing Rutgers,
Right, exactly.
like every year now, bro. And the impact on that kind of travel, like, it's because you got to keep in mind,
That's
not
ridiculous.
just football is affected,
Right.
right? Because football, you only play 12 games a season, right? Basketball or tennis. Or baseball,
Yeah.
you playing 40, 50 games.
Right.
And
Going
it's
crazy.
like, dog, if I go to UCLA, bro, I don't want to go to Columbus, Ohio 3 times a year. You know what I mean? Like,
Nah,
bro,
for real, though.
If I'm at USC, I don't want to go to Piscataway, New Jersey, like 4 or 5 times a year, dog. I don't want to do that.
No
bro.
disrespect to Jersey,
You
but
know what
yeah.
I mean? So yeah, I think that part is that's the part I don't like, and they did not take that into consideration. It's all about profit. It's all about profit. It's all about money. It's all about TV contracts. So yeah, when those kind of moves get made, it can have some nasty.
That man said there's no ethical billionaires out
Right?
there.
Yeah, bro. there are not. Right? But
I don't care what they say.
Right. So I was gonna say, bro. So
Yeah, go
talking
for it.
about UT going into the SEC, there was actually a big celebration. Like, there was a whole parade this past Sunday near the campus. It was parade. It was photo ops. They had Bevo out there. They had fireworks. They had a pit bull concert. You know, they had them. You know,
Okay,
doing
so they
speaking
doing
in
their thing.
Spanglish,
Yeah.
and all that, bro. And so yeah, it was a huge celebration. Like, bro, keep in mind, we're like in the trenches.
Yeah.
When it comes to summertime weather.
Yeah.
Right. So we in high 90s, triple digits
99.
at this point. So you got crowds, like bodies on bodies, outside, right? To celebrate, you know, this. And with the whole thing that was happening, bro, like they said, one person got transported to the hospital, non-life-threatening injury, right? Nobody died, so thank goodness.
Good.
And then also, I think 2 other people got hospitalized with like some non-threatening medical issues. They didn't specify what. But yeah, man. So I think it's a big deal, and I'm curious to see how this is gonna play out. I do want to go to a game.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, if we get some tickets, we might have to get you and wife to pull up,
Yeah,
bro.
come
We might have
on.
to get
Yeah,
y'all
we
that
there.
UT
Yeah.
football experience.
We there that one time for the one time. No
You know
problem.
what I
You know what I'm
mean?
saying? You know what I'm saying?
So yeah, man, we definitely got to line that up. You know.
Yeah, I think it'll be an interesting experience overall. Do I feel like it's a money grab?
Yeah.
Yes and no.
Oh, yeah.
I do feel like there is a competitive aspect and dynamic to it, but at the core of it and the totality, man, I really am excited about football. Right, excited to see more games, more experiences, and I think it also brings out the level of, you know, competitiveness when they're playing some of those teams that they like. Oh man. You know what I'm saying? We got drove last year by this squad, like, right?
Yeah.
So I will wait to provide my full critique after we, you know, see what this season has to offer.
Gotcha.
I'll tell you that much.
I feel that.
I'll tell you that
I
much.
feel that.
What else is going on in the city, dog?
Oh man. So I was gonna say, we actually it just hit July, but we actually just got out of June, which is Pride Month.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So, Travis County, it was a bunch of different. They did free weddings.
Oh, wow.
For same-sex couples.
Oh man.
During Pride Month. I think this is the second time that but Travis County has offered that ceremony. So I think last year they only had it. It was a one-day event.
Okay.
This go around, it was like multiple days they could choose from, right? And I want to say like 40 different couples tied to knot.
Nice.
Right? And so I'm not gonna lie, bro. Like, so we're both married.
Yes.
Right? And you know, we understand what marriage brings and all that.
Correct.
And you know, everything that can come along with that. And I'm not gonna lie, bro. Like, I am, of course, I'm cisgender. I mean, you know, I'm a straight man. But I'll say, man, I do think because of the place that I'm at, I'm happy.
Yeah.
Well, I'm happy for them because the thing is this was a privilege that they didn't get a chance to have at a point in time, right? Like there was literally no same-sex marriage for, you know, as long as we could remember. Like it basically got legalized like 2 weeks ago if you want to keep it a buck. You know what I mean? So I'm happy about that. I do think, and this is wishful thinking, right? I do think we'll hit a point where this won't even be a big deal. Right? Like in the collective. Of course, for the most part, nobody's like really tripping like that, but you always gonna have a few stragglers. Right? But wishful thinking is that one day they won't even exist. You know what I mean? Like it'll just be like, oh, you know, they just got married.
They got married.
Two more people
And
that got married.
That's it.
Like it won't even be a big deal.
Yeah.
But we not there as a collective yet.
Nah, true.
You know what I mean?
I agree.
I am happy that Travis County, and I mean, it's the city of Austin,
Yeah.
right, that they could provide something like that, especially for the free. Because, hey,
I was getting ready to say, man, just
You can run up a
recently
bag.
recently getting married and spending that money.
ooh, I know y'all came up off a check.
Oh, brother. Oh, Christ.
I know you came up off a check.
So knowing that you could have got it done for the free, man,
Right.
congratulations to you.
Oh, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so
man.
yeah, man.
Woo.
I think I'd have to agree with you. I think this is an interesting dynamic, and plus the simple fact that it has to signify. You know, I think a lot of these things, right? Black History Month, the fact that we have to signify these things, Pride Month, emphasizes the fact that there are some strides that we still got to maintain
Right.
and get to,
Right.
and there will be a time, I believe, there will be a time where we won't have to really worry about or stress over these, and it'll just be another Tuesday, right? So yeah, I'm shout out to everyone who tied the knot. We wish you nothing but marital bliss,
Right.
And shoot, we hope you last. We hope you last.
Also, man, FYI, the 2 hour lunch break, we are an LGBTQIA plus friendly space.
That is correct.
So, hey,
that is correct. Come holla at us.
hey, they, thems,
Yes.
he, she's, we like all of y'all.
Yeah.
Holla at us. You know what I mean? We in inclusive space.
Right. Exactly.
You know?
safe,
So, yeah,
as
man.
they say. Safe, as they say.
So, bro, I'm curious.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So, kind of getting away from that.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with the Edgar haircut?
So So I used to have a Hispanic homeboy
Right.
when I was in middle school,
Okay.
and I want to say that's what he wore. Am I tripping?
It's almost like I don't even know how to describe it. It's
Yeah.
almost like it's not a bowl cut,
Right.
but it got like some tapering. It's like some tapering,
Taper.
but it's like it hangs down in the front,
Yeah.
and then it's like kind of thick in the crown.
Okay.
It's a lot.
Here's
It's
the
a lot going on.
Here's the funny part. My middle school friend that I'm talking about, he was actually from Texas.
Okay.
So that was the only
Yeah.
reason why I remember it. Because I was like, fam, what is that? And he was like, yeah, this is I can't remember. I don't even know. I think he called it the Eddie or something like that. I don't even think he called it Edgar.
The Edgar, yeah.
So what's up?
So, bro, like, okay, so I'm from Texas, right? And I remember, bro, like a gang of Latino homies, like, coming up, because I grew up in a pretty diverse neighborhood.
Yeah.
And it was a little bit of everybody. And I remember it was a gang of Latino homies either had a buzz cut or that Edgar cut, right? And it's super popular now. Like the young Mexican like kids, they all got them, right? You go to the mall, you see a gang of them. They all got that, right? Yeah, so that's the look, bro. So apparently, what's going on is, bro, is there like, and this is mainly kind of in San Antonio. We're kind of getting away from Austin a little bit,
Okay.
but this is in San Antonio. So apparently, businesses are starting to ban the Edgar cut, right? The quote unquote Edgar cut, right? And so what's going on is apparently because so many like young Mexican, kids have that cut that I guess now and probably incorrectly,
Yes.
it's being associated with like criminal activity,
What?
right?
A haircut.
Yeah, bro. You know how that go.
Got you.
Right? And so, and this is basically the straw that broke the camel's back,
Yeah.
right? At least in the San Antonio area, there's a lot of growing distrust of kids with that haircut. And basically the straw that broke the camel's back was there was a shooting in San Antonio in April, right? I forgot. I know it was a festival down there. Excuse me, I don't know the name. Y'all know my heart. But there was a festival in San Antonio in April. Apparently, there was a shooting that had happened. And I guess the perpetrator was a young 16, 17-year-old kid, had the Edgar cut, normal Latino kid coming out of San Antonio. And once that had occurred, it was like, all right, we got to start making something happen, right? And so a lot of local businesses, a lot of mom and pop shops, a lot of food trucks, they were like, nah, you got that cut. We not gonna serve you, bro. Like they starting to put up signs.
Wow.
It's crazy, dog.
Wow.
And so it makes me think, bro. So like coming from our perspective, we're black,
Yes.
right? We've dealt and not necessarily we specifically, but black people as a whole have dealt with a lot of different things in regards to like our hairstyles being policed.
Yeah.
Right? So, bro, with that perspective, bro, like, how do you feel? Do you think that they should even be able to, like, businesses should be able to be like, no, you got that cut, you can't get in here. You can't. We not gonna serve you. Like, what do you think about that?
The short answer is no.
Okay.
But I guess the long answer for me is, does a cut, justify or identify my personality? Now
Right.
it may identify the way I want to express myself.
Right.
I agree with that, but
Right.
that doesn't identify my intelligence, my habits, my attributes, things of that nature. So I think that's kind of crazy for an organization to basically specify, you cannot do this because of because of B, right? You cannot come in here because of this haircut. I think that's ludicrous. But also, to your point initially from the Genesis, right? Like we've heard about this policing in the black community ages ago, right? Where people were discriminated based off of their hairstyle, whether it be locks, whether it be afros, so on and so forth. So it was a point in time where I'm pretty positive you probably experienced this, where during school or in college, if you didn't have a fade, especially in the school of business and technology, they were like, yeah, what you doing with your life? Like you gotta hang that up. And I even remember my dean, like, yeah, we gonna have to, you gonna get that braided or something, like something's gonna happen. I was like, nah, I like it like this. And he was like, yeah, no, we can't do that. So I think that, it's something that's been a pastime, and unfortunately, again, it's one of those things that we're gonna have to get through. We're gonna have to get past, but this doesn't dictate or predicate anything that these young individuals, especially these young men coming out of San Antonio, are about.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, bro. Like, so I know you were talking about your experience, bro.
Right.
Like, I've also had my own experiences with that. Mainly because I know, bro, in college, like I had locks, like it was, down my back. Yeah. Right. And I remember, dog, like my head coach was like on my head. Like, when are you gonna cut those? Right. When are you gonna cut those off? Like all that. Right. Like, bro, like it felt like it was at least like twice a week. And I'm like, fam, like, what is the deal? When you signed me, I had my hair.
You know what it was.
Now that I'm here, you want me to cut?
Yeah.
And yeah, bro, like he was just on me for the longest. Like, and it was just nonstop. And I'm like, fam, just like you were saying, bro, like your hair is not indicative of the person. It's not indicative of your personality. It's not indicative of your attitude or anything like that. Right. It's really a form of cultural expression. Right. True. So you got locks. You might have an association to embracing your natural hair texture. Right. Something like that. Right. And just like I was saying, culture, like even the Edgar cut, bro. Like going back to that. From what I've read, it has ties to like an indigenous haircut. Apparently, before the Edgar cut was the Edgar cut, like boys been having that for like some centuries. See, you know what I mean? Yeah. So like that cut doesn't just come from anywhere. Yeah. As wild as that cut is, it couldn't just come from nowhere. It couldn't.
Well, not even that, right? It could also be a spiritual aspect that we don't know about, that we don't have knowledge based on. Right. And that's even like with locks, you know what I'm saying? That goes, I would argue, well, a lot of black folks would argue that trickles down to the Bible and with Solomon. Right. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? With his locks, that he lost his hair, he lost his strength. Lost his power, yeah. So with that being said, I think that might trickle down. That could be another revelation that we have no knowledge about, but now we're bashing these kids because they like, yo, this is my heritage, this is who I am, this is what my people represent. And now we're saying, nah, not in this establishment. Right. You can represent that out there. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I think it's nuts.
What I'll say as far as like actual tangible discrimination, as far as like banning, quote unquote, banning the haircut, I don't think that has any legs to stand on because of the fact that, just like we were saying, like coming out of the black experience, black hair has always been policed. So of course there has been legal action against that. So you got things like the Crown Act that are already in place, right? So the Crown Act is basically, for those that don't know, the Crown Act is a statute that prohibits discrimination in schools, workplaces, housing, based on certain hair textures and protective hairstyles that are historically and culturally associated with race, right? And just like we were saying, bro, that Edgar cut got roots. Yes. You know what I mean? Yes. So, to try to police that, and it's like, all right, fam, my ancestors have been having this, cut for 5 centuries, and now because you seen a couple other young kids that might have hit a lick at the mall. Now you're
now
not.
it's me.
Right now you're not letting me. You're
Right.
not going to serve me because of what I got on my head. Like, you
Right.
know what I mean? Like, it's not indicative of who I am or what I'm about or anything like that. It's just an expression of culture,
Right.
more than
Exactly.
anything.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So yeah, I keeping it a buck, bro. Like, I have my feelings about that
Yeah.
as a black man, but I do think legally it does not have any legs to stand on. They're not going to be able to make that like a thing, no
Yeah.
matter how they feel about it.
I think it's going to be a challenge to even attempt to make it a thing, because another situation that kind of similarly ties to this. Did you hear about the barbershop in Atlanta? So basically, there's this black barber who has an establishment in Atlanta, and his focus was to try to help both connect black businesses and just talk about the upcoming election, right?
Okay.
Black businesses, the upcoming election, how that'll affect businesses in Atlanta. It actually transmorphed into a candidate election for Donald Trump. And he was literally sitting there like, whoa, this is not what I signed up for. I thought it was just going to be
now I remember
a
what you're
dialogue
talking
and
about.
debate about, you
Yeah.
know what I'm saying, this type of climate
Yeah.
that we're currently in.
Yeah.
He was like, now he's lost a tremendous amount of clientele because they think he's a black for Trump supporter, right? Which is crazy.
Yeah.
But also, in addition to that, there's also another element where he was like, he's gotten pretty much all the constituents that were black for Trump sitting there in his facilities, and like, nah, you a black Trump supporter. And he was like, we don't even talk politics in my building.
Right.
Why would I even support that? So I think it's another dynamic that's very, very similar to that, and I think it's another frustration that other people are experiencing across the globe, right? It's just some of those things that it's like, yo, look, this is not the persona that I'm trying to express or relay, but it's been forced upon me, and now all of a sudden I'm just sitting here.
Right.
So yeah, man, I think it's hurtful. I think it's difficult. And I think it's challenging for those people, man. But I hope that they find justice. I hope that justice prevails in a higher note.
Right, bro. So
Yeah.
I was gonna say. So speaking about blacks for Trump,
Yes.
we had a recent presidential debate.
Yes, we did.
A few days ago.
We did, brother.
You get a chance to check it out?
I checked out some. I checked out as much as I could for as long
I had
as
to
I could.
I had to watch it. Like,
Yeah.
ugh. So, what do you think about it? Like, what's your first opinion? Like, off the top of your head, how are you feeling?
What is a black job?
I don't know. I'm like, I mean, I don't.
What's black
I
jobs?
mean, I don't know. What is it? Installing rims?
I
Is it
don't know. I don't know.
playing
Warming-
summer pro football?
Warming up beds. I don't.
Something like that. Like,
I have no idea what's happening right now. I have no idea what's happening right now.
so fam, black jobs, bro. Dog. What are we doing?
What
What are we doing, bro? Like,
what's happening?
and okay. So what I'll say is, the good that came out of the whole topic of black jobs is like the reaction on social media,
I agree.
right?
Completely
So,
agree.
A lot of black people and also a lot of Latino homies have been on social media, making it's basically been jokes.
Yeah.
At this point, like nobody, at least that I'm aware of, has been taking that statement really seriously.
Right.
Right. And so like a lot of Latino people are like, oh man, when we gonna take the black jobs? Where the black jobs at? I'm trying to get one of those.
He's trying to get one of them.
And on the other side, you got the black people getting their jokes off. Like what is a black job? What does
Yeah.
that mean?
Right.
All that other kind of stuff.
Right.
But what I will say, like humor aside, right? Like I get the jokes. I've been getting a ton of laughs.
Yeah.
What I will say is the whole framing of black jobs is really nasty, dog. Like as far as I guess that subset of what Trump deems as black jobs and like that being like taken away by, a quote unquote like hordes of brown people coming in kind of thing. It's nasty work.
I
Like
think-
at its core.
I agree. And I also got to say that I think that a lot of the conversation and the dialogue was focused towards the border, right?
Right.
And immigration
Yep.
transpiring. We
Yep.
cannot blame everything on that. I think that's another thing that we definitely got to address. And again, without going too deep into the weeds of this, I think there's some key things that we got to address. With that being said, also the thoughts and feedback about the debate. My man is getting old. He needs to relax and take his time, do something.
Oh, the boy Biden.
Yeah, he misstepped on the conversation, forgot mid sentence. I don't know what he needs, but I'm not gonna say he needs to step off or step out. I'm not gonna agree with that conversation there, because I do feel like he has a wealth of knowledge and wisdom that could definitely help. But also at the same time, there has to be some type of change that happens there for him.
And bro, what's wild is I think Biden is only like 4 years older than Trump.
Right.
Like it's really like
Not-
they
it's
basically
not-
the same age.
Right,
Once
right.
you
It's
hit
not
like
crazy.
60, you
Yeah.
basically the same age.
Yeah, it's not crazy. It's a
Yeah,
number.
and so what I think that the thing is the reason that Biden is being looked at as so old in comparison is because of the fact that Trump has always been looked at as doing like off the wall stuff, right? Like he's always been since we've known who he was in the 80s and the 90s. He's always been saying crazy stuff. He's always been doing crazy stuff. He's always been caught up in something wild, whether it be legal or illegal or whatever. It's always something going on with him, right? So I think the reason that it's such a big deal with Biden is because early on we weren't getting all the crazy stuff from Biden, right? Like we weren't getting like the lapses of like he basically like semi-conscious at the podium sometimes, right? Like, but early on when we first found out who he was, or even like when he was younger, like as a young politician, he was he was always looked at as a super smart, super articulate guy, all this other stuff, like and now you're seeing him. He's still like when he's lucid, he cool,
He's sharp,
right? But he be having them moments,
Yeah,
bro,
where it's
I be
just-
like, bro,
It's like,
I be like, oh man, like, dude, bro,
It was-
do
so-
you need a nap?
With that,
Like,
with
for
that
real.
said, on the debate though, I was like, that was almost cringeworthy when you
Yeah.
were like, "Oh, I hope he catches it," and then
Right.
he paused,
Right.
and you were like, "Dang, he seriously lost that moment right there."
Yeah.
So that's why I'm saying, like, can we chalk it up to old age? Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? But I can't. He's got something has to happen,
Right.
For that to be like, oh, okay, I'm cool with that.
Right.
So yeah, I don't have a dog in the fight right now. I
Yeah,
don't
man,
know.
we gotta. I don't know, bro. Like, I'm gonna be honest. I'm just generally overall just unhappy
You
with
are?
this whole process at
Yeah.
this point. I don't feel good about anybody involved. Like whenever I place my vote, like I said, I'm not saying who I'm voting for,
Yeah.
but I'm literally just gonna
He said, I'm gonna turn away and press
like
the button.
yeah, like I just gotta close my eyes and because
Yeah.
I don't feel good about nobody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
But you know what I do feel good about?
What's up?
The NBA draft and free agency.
Hey,
I feel
it's
good
been
about
active.
that. It's been active.
Very, very active.
Some good information that has been coming down the pipeline, good and bad. So let me start here. Let's talk about the big button topic.
Okay.
Bronny James going to the Lakers.
Yep.
How do you feel about that?
In a vacuum, I'm happy.
In a vacuum, you're happy. Okay.
In a vacuum, I'm happy because I'm all about black nepotism. Right? Now, outside of a vacuum, if I'm Bronny, I am not happy. I'm gonna keep it a buck. Before I go into that, how are you feeling? I'm gonna get in there, but how are you feeling?
I would have to agree with your first sentiment and statement. In a big grand scheme of life, I am 100% happy and completely overjoyed that this has transpired. My man gets to play with his son. My man gets to potentially win a championship with his son.
Right.
They can share that memory forevermore, right? on the B side.
Okay.
All right. Jenny. We needed to move some furniture around, right? To get where we needed to go. And getting him is not the furniture that we needed to move. Someone who scores 11 points an average a game, it's not going to cut it. It's not. But I understand why you did it. I get it. But we need to move some furniture around.
For sure.
Right now.
For sure.
So we can be competitive. With that being said, yeah, man. I think we got some things we gotta get done for the Lakers to be really, really, really competitive next year. Granted, can do the pieces that we currently have can get us at least to, playoff series. I think so.
Okay.
But getting us to the mountaintop, whew, I doubt it.
Yeah. Okay, bro. So, like we were saying earlier, nepotism, I have absolutely no problem with that. And in fact, I'm going to be honest, I feel like we need more black nepotism, if I'm going to keep it a buck, because that's something historically that we have been deprived of.
I mean,
right?
We just talking about Jenny Buss. How did she get the team?
Bingo. Right? So I think as a whole, black people need to be participating more in black nepotism. Like, you should be able to, provide and create opportunities for your children, right? Like, for me, I mean, of course, I work in the nonprofit sector, but, if I get to a point where I'm, like, running the whole thing and I can give my kids a job, come on. Once you got your degree, come on. Like, let's go. Let me at least get you in the door.
Right.
You know what I mean? If you don't have something else that you're already working on, let's at least get you going. Right? Because that's one of my obligations as a parent. So I have been seeing like a lot of like weird comments like, oh man, he shouldn't do that. LeBron shouldn't do that.
I disagree completely.
You crazy. You just salty because you couldn't get your son on at the plant.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, nah, man, you wild.
He's at the plant.
You know what I mean? And the thing is it's not like we haven't seen nepotism in the NBA before.
Exactly.
Because, bro, like, if you want to think, like, one example, right, we can bring up Giannis's brother. Yeah. With the Bucks. What's his name? Thanasis.
Yeah.
Right? Big trash.
Right.
I'm going to look at the camera. Big trash. I think Thanasis might average like 2 points a game. He is a bum.
Did not translate.
Big bum. And the thing is he's been signed, like he's been re-signing contracts in order to keep Giannis happy. Right? Like if Giannis did not exist, like if there was no Giannis, Thanasis will probably be in like Latvia right now. You know what I mean? If we want to keep it a buck. Right? And so the Bucks have done this like, hey man, we trying to keep, our bread and butter happy. Let's throw his brother in there and you know what I mean? Just to, keep him cool. And the thing is they've won a ring because of that. Like when they won that ring, Thanasis was over there looking sorry the whole time, looking big sorry with a ring. You know what I mean? So if you wanna have that kind of energy for LeBron and Bronny, have it for Giannis and Thanasis.
Be fair all around.
And have it for all these front office execs.
Be fair all around. I agree.
That get their kids as like video editors.
Right.
Get them in the door with the organization and all this other stuff. Like have that same energy for them.
Nah, you're right.
Only because of the fact that it's somebody that's black and highly visible. Now it's a problem. Like give me a break. Like come on now.
Nah, I think that dynamic and viewpoint is wild because of the simple fact of as you just mentioned, how often it happens in the game right now. I think that, again, like I said, I think that is an awesome thing that he gets it. I think that's a wonderful thing that he has the opportunity now to provide for his son in a space and a dynamic. Plus, he's, we already know he's moving puzzle pieces around. Right. And that's in the city of LA. And that's okay. Yeah. That's okay for the Lakers. But again, if we're talking about the B-side for a Laker fan, which I am, we gotta. I would have. You know what? I would have been overjoyed if we would have had Hansel, Emmanuel, the one-armed bandit.
Oh yeah.
Boy, what?
Yeah.
What? Get out of here,
he
boy.
Nice with that one. If he had two, boy, he'd take over the world.
That boy would be a monster. That boy's a monster now. That boy's a monster now.
Right.
So yeah, man. I think that there could have been some way better pickups. But I get it, and I totally understand, and I respect it. The only thing I pray is that when it's time to work, he puts in the work.
Yeah.
And makes a play.
Right.
Makes a play like no other. So
Yeah.
I'm excited about that. About those experiences. But even, second round, was he second round
yeah,
pick?
55th.
And what, 55th? Something like that? Yeah, 50th or 55th? He got some decent money.
Right, it's an inconsequential pick. So
Yeah.
it was a weak draft.
Right, it was a
this
weak
ain't
draft.
hurting nobody.
It ain't hurting
nobody
nobody.
getting their spot took.
Come on, yeah.
because of this,
It
you
would
know?
be very, very different if he came first round, number 2.
lottery.
It was like, whoa.
Right, yeah. Then it would have been a real problem.
Right.
You
So
know?
it was basically, all right, Brian. Look, this is the last pick. What do you
Right,
want?
right.
You sure you want? Okay, bet we got him.
Exactly.
We don't worry. So
Exactly.
yeah, man. But I think there was some other really, really exciting things that came about, especially with like Dallas, right?
Oh man, that free agency real active.
Yeah, free agency crazy, right? So Klay Thompson went to Dallas. What do you think about adding that puzzle piece in?
So I'm not gonna lie, bro. I feel like that puts them in a good place to add extra shooting.
Extra shooters, what they needed.
Because they already got Kyrie. They already got. I'm bugging out.
You talking about
And I should know this. I don't know
yeah.
why I'm bugging out on Buddy name.
I forget him. I'm seeing him dead in my face right now.
Slovenian.
Yeah.
and it's bothering me.
Yeah.
Doncic.
Yeah.
Doncic. My goodness. I'm not blanking out, and I'm from Texas too. So Kyrie and Luka, along with Klay, bro. Offensively, dog.
That's gonna be a good one.
Like Klay, and the thing is, Klay don't even gotta do nothing. All he can do is just stand there.
Yeah, all you gotta do is stand
Catch
and
it,
shoot.
Go stand in the corner.
Yeah, right there.
And
do
put
your
up
job.
18 a game.
Do your job.
Right. Just catch and shoot. Because defensively,
Yeah.
at this point, because I think he had some ACLs, some
well,
Achilles stuff.
And that's why y'all even got him there. Y'all
Right.
got him there for the points.
yeah.
For the
So,
points and get the dubs.
I like how that's gonna play out. I want to see what they're gonna do with this for the future. Because they made it to the final. They got smacked in the finals,
Yeah,
but they
they
still
did.
made it to the finals
They
nonetheless.
still made it to the finals
So
with
I'm
what they
curious
got.
to see what they're gonna do in the West. I was gonna say,
Yeah.
another big move. Palmdale's finest.
Yes.
All right, Palmdale's finest. Left the Clippers.
Shout out. Yeah.
Just signed a max deal with the Sixers.
Sixers,
How
yeah.
you feeling about that?
I think that is a good dynamic for him. I think that might be a good move for him, especially with his ball style and his play.
Versatile.
PG is amazing, an amazing athlete. I think it would probably fit a little better with someone like Dallas or maybe even San Antonio. But I think he'll still do well.
Right.
I think he'll still do well. I can't say nothing but good things right now.
Yeah.
Nothing but good things right now.
Yeah, I think it's a A+ signing, dog.
Yeah.
For the Sixers, bro.
Yeah.
Like Daryl Morey, bro.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Bro.
Yeah.
Diabolical genius.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
I don't
bro,
know how
you
he pulled it off, but
right,
shout out.
You got Embiid, you got Maxey, bro. You already got 2 All-Stars as it is.
Yeah.
And PG is basically like a plug-and-play player. Like, you can put him in any system, any
and
offense.
he's gonna work.
His skill set and his playing style fits everywhere.
It's gonna work.
You know what I mean? And he's been probably like the top 3-and-D guy
Yeah.
for like the last 10, 15 years.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I think it's going to be an amazing fit. I'm curious to see what they're going to do in the East because the East kind of mid.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
when it
That's
comes
fair.
to talent, like it's top heavy, but after you get past that first, second team,
Yeah.
outside of Boston,
I was getting ready to say, yeah.
you know, so I think this puts them in a legitimate space to try to make a run. At minimum, get to the conference finals.
I agree.
You know, and then once they get to the conference finals, we'll see how that plays out. They'll probably end up meeting with Boston.
Right.
And then we'll go from there.
Speaking of which, speaking of Boston,
Okay.
we talking Tatum. Didn't he get the max deal, $315 for the
big
5?
bag. Big bag. I think highest paid in the league.
Highest paid in the league right
Ooh,
now.
Lord.
Coming fresh off a championship, huh?
Oh,
And getting a
man.
$315?
Yeah,
You got to be high on the hog.
Yeah,
That boy said he didn't get the MVP,
Right.
but he got the chips.
I ain't mad, bro.
I was going to say, if you were Tatum right now, would you be upset that you didn't get the MVP? But now,
I don't care. I can dive into a tub of 300 M's
yeah, right.
to
He said it be-
satiate myself from not getting MVP. Like I'm
justify.
cool. I got this tub of 300
Right,
M's
right.
that I'm swan diving into. I'm straight.
To justify the
You know
means
what I mean?
to the ends.
So yeah, man, he got that big bag.
That
but
big
I mean,
bag, bro.
I mean, hey, they just won a championship. I mean, it makes sense. Pay your top guy. I
Right.
mean, that's what you do. He's young. I think he's maybe 26.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So lock him in. He still got a bunch of years left in his prime. At this point, basketball players are like lasting until like 35.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, so you probably got like maybe 9 years to a decade left of like solid play
Mm-hmm.
coming from him before you see any kind of like real legitimate decline. So yeah, I mean,
I agree.
Boston
I
was smart
agree.
to do it. He was smart to sign it.
He was
So I'm happy for him, man. Shout out to Tatum, man.
Yeah, man.
We also got one more signing.
Yeah.
Speaking of free agency, CP3, Chris Paul to the Spurs.
Yes.
I'm not gonna lie, I like this signing a lot,
Yeah,
bro,
I do.
because the Spurs they got Wemby, they got the 7-footer, the
Yeah.
7-foot Frenchman, right?
Yeah.
And a big complaint about the Spurs, especially this past season, is that nobody will feed Wemby the rock. Like they don't have a point guard that can run an offense. They just been having players that have been running around with their heads cut off and have not been passing. Like, fam, Wemby is so big, all you got to do is just throw it in the air. Just throw it in the air.
He'll figure it out.
And he'll go get it.
Yeah.
But they haven't even been doing that, right? And so now, with this CP3 signing, you have like the archetypical point guard. Like they got to the point where they call him the point god,
Yeah.
right? And he is
It's not a bad.
right. He is what you think of when you think of somebody that's going to quarterback your offense,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like he's pick and roll, lob. Like even when he first signed with the Clippers back in the day,
Yeah.
everybody was hyped talking about Lob City, and that's
Yeah.
what it turned into.
That's what it turned
Lob
into.
City Clippers. So
Yep.
imagine, dog. Like, of course, don't get me wrong. CP3 is 39, so I don't expect to see prime.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
CP3 that's not.
But he
2010.
you still got spurts of it.
Right, he still got it. He still got his mind.
Right, exactly.
You know what I mean? And so, fam, it's gonna be woo.
So let me ask you this question, especially with how the format is with the Spurs.
Okay.
Do you think that CP3 is going to fit extremely well? He's going to adapt to that environment because he's known to be a little rough around the edges, right?
Mm-hmm.
And not in the context of he can't play with anybody, but he's like the conformity aspect is a little bit challenging. I won't say he's Kyrie level, but I will
no.
say he's definitely okay. I don't know. I don't agree with this that much.
Right. I think he'll be all right only because of the fact that he's going to be paired with Popovich.
Yes.
Right. And Popovich is, essentially he's looked at as one of the great minds of the game.
Right.
Right now. So pairing, the ultimate point guard with a mind like Greg Popovich, bro. Like I think he's probably going to do everything in his power to like lock in with Pop, right, and really try to drive this offense. And I think a big thing that's going to be, looked at is feeding Wemby the ball.
Yeah.
Feeding him the ball.
Yeah.
Because this first season he was a rookie. He's already first team all defense,
Yep.
right? So if there was no what's the name? What's the other French dude?
Oh, you talking about Tony?
No. The one that get done up all the time.
Oh.
I'm blanking out on his name.
Yeah,
It's bothering
man.
me. Gobert.
Oh, but yeah.
He get done up constantly.
Yeah.
But whatever.
Bad. Yeah.
But yeah, so if there was no Rudy Gobert, Wemby would have a defensive player of the year, like
Yeah,
as a
that's
rookie.
that's a good
like,
argument.
Like all the metrics bear that out. Even the eye test bears that out. Like it's people when Wemby is in the paint, people run away from him if they have the ball. You know what I mean? So he's already there defensively.
Right.
And that's actually going to be the worst that he is
than-
defensively
Right.
at 19.
Right.
Right? So he's already where you need him to be. Offensively, bro, like he has a bag already for 7'4".
Yep.
But he just needs to be fed.
Yeah.
That's the only thing. Give him the rock.
Right.
Just like we were saying earlier, all you got to do is throw it in the vicinity and he'll go get it. He
And
has the longest
CP3 is
wingspan
not
in the
selfish. CP3 is not selfish at all.
Right.
He's going to pass that ball. He's going to make certain that people are looked at. He's going to look for the open player, and he's going to make certain that his offense works for him.
Yep.
So I do agree with you. I think that it's going to be a good asset to the team, and they might be a force reckoned with now. they might be a force to be reckoned with now.
Yeah, we're gonna see because
We'll see.
I know there was a metric that it came out where CP3 everywhere he goes, the winning percentage goes up.
Oh, I believe.
Like it does. Like it doesn't.
I believe
Every single time he signed with the team, the record has gone up at least 20%.
I believe it.
Right.
I believe that 10
and
out of 10.
It bears that out on every single signing. So I think this will put the Spurs in a chance. I'm not saying they're gonna win a ring.
Yeah.
That's unrealistic.
Yeah.
Right. Like I get it.
But they'll be in the conversation.
They can make a little bit of noise in the West. I don't really see a playoff seed because the West is stacked.
Yeah.
But
That's gonna be tough.
they'll snatch a few wins
Yeah.
for some playoff teams, and Wemby will get he'll get his opportunities. He'll be balling out. I want to see him start putting up 30.
Man,
That
would be crazy.
But we'll see. I think we'll see Wemby really shine this season because like we were saying earlier, bro. The big thing is that nobody will give him the ball.
Yeah, right. Right.
So I'm happy about this signing. I think it's going to be a good one. We'll see how that bears out. So man, shout out to CP3.
Shout out.
But I was gonna say, bro. So now that we're kind of coming back to Texas teams and Texas events, man.
Yeah.
What events are gonna be coming up in the city in Austin?
Great question. So on tomorrow, there is a Smoke and Mike night at Lazy Days Coffee in Pflugerville on July 3rd from 7 to 11. DJ K Khaled will be in the building. Big Champ will be in the building. MC Jigga Monster will be in the building. Make sure you guys check that out. That is for ages 25 and up. There is
grown and sexy.
Yeah, right. There is a general admission of $15, so make sure you pull up and check that out. What about what else you got?
I was gonna say I know we always talk about Tater Q.
Yep.
They have this Savory Saturday brunch. Well, there's Savory brunch on Saturdays and Sundays. Starts at 11:30 a.m. Goes all the way till 3 o'clock. I don't know if that's kid friendly or not.
I don't think that is. No. Saturdays and Sundays they are until after 4 p.m. is what they said. If I'm not mistaken.
Gotcha. Okay, man, y'all pull up. Tater QC. They're talking about they got bomb wings.
Yep. And then let's see, we got an event on July 4th, the Greatest July 4th party at Business Signal on Thursday from 9 p.m. to 2 a.m. Make sure you check out and pull up there. Shout out to the team at YBA and also Busy Signal for
Young Black
hosting that event, assisting and hosting that event. What else we got?
Also, we got the Down South Cajun Eats Seafood Boil Wednesdays. They alum of the 2 hour lunch break.
Yep.
We've interviewed them before. Solid dudes. Check out the twins. Tomorrow. Seafood Boil Wednesdays.
Ooh.
Anything that come out of the water, they cooking it.
He said, "I
you
got you."
Shrimp. You got oysters. You got crawfish. Everything that, like I said, everything that come from the water, they gonna put some heat to it.
Yes, sir.
So y'all check them out. They got good drinks, good vibes, man. Good dudes. Y'all pull up on them boards.
Absolutely. And for more other details and events, make sure you check out on Instagram where y'all at ATX. Young Black Austin, Down South Cajun Needs, Tater Q, Whip My Soul.
Hey.
Make sure you check out these venues and locations because they are phenomenal and they have things to do in the city. But most importantly, that wraps up another edition of the 1 hour news break. We want to thank you so much for tuning in tonight and hanging out with us. We really appreciate you being here this evening.
All right. Big shout out to our amazing production behind the boards. You can find them at Cafe Yodo. Also, salute to our sponsors. This, like we said earlier, this is powered by Favor and recorded at Dawa Studios in East Austin, Texas. Y'all know where to find us. We're streaming on all platforms. Don't forget to follow the 2 hour lunch break on Instagram at 2HLBpod and on X at the 2 hour lunch to stay in the loop on all things the 2 hour lunch break.
And make sure you catch us here every Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. live on Dawa Heels and also on the 2 hour lunch break podcast YouTube channel as well as Channel 10 News. This is 2 hour lunch break. We'll catch y'all next time. Peace.
Zeus P, St. Jude, let the light in. Man, it's the 2 hour lunch break, dog. I'm locked in. So turn your speakers up a notch and grab the white gin. And when I'm on the road to the office or the crib, it's Big Zeus, St. Jude, the ones I wanna hear. This is that 2 hour lunch break live from Lady Bird J. Lay.
Coming to you live, putting on for they free.
This is that 2 hour lunch break live from Lady Bird J. Lay. And we back. Zeus P, Tank Juice. Let the light in, man. It's the 2-hour lunch break, dog. I'm locked in. So turn your speakers up a notch and grab the white gin. And when I'm on the road to the office or the crib, it's Big Zeus, St. Jude, the ones I wanna hear. Zeus P, Tank Juice. Let the light in, man. It's the 2-hour lunch break, dog. I'm locked in. So turn your speakers up a notch and grab the white gin. And when I'm on the road to the office or the crib, it's Big Zeus, St. Jude, the ones I wanna hear. This is that 2-hour lunch break live from Lady Bird J. Lay.
Coming to you live, putting on for they city.
This is that 2-hour lunch break live from Lady Bird J. Lay.
They got every
And we back, and we back. Zeus P, Tank Juice. Let the light in, man. It's the 2-hour lunch break, dog. I'm locked in. So turn your speakers up a notch and grab the white gin. And when I'm on the road to the office or the crib, it's Big Zeus, St. Jude, the ones I wanna hear. This is that 2-hour lunch break live from Lady Bird J. Lay.
coming to you live, putting on for they city.
This is that 2-hour lunch break live from Lady Bird J. Lay.
They got every
And we back, and we back. Zeus P, Tank Juice. Let the light in, man. It's the 2-hour lunch break, dog. I'm locked in. So turn your speakers up a notch and grab the white gin. And when I'm on the road to the office or the crib, it's Big Zeus, St. Jude, the ones I wanna hear. This is that 2-hour lunch break live from Lady Bird J. Lay.
coming to you live, putting on for they city.
This is that 2-hour lunch break live from Lady Bird J. Lay.
They got every
And we back, and we back.